Doing great.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I know I should have worn green.
I made your name green. We're good. We got the green on.
All right, cool. And you know what's
Yeah.
special about this St. Patty's Day?
Tell.
It falls on the Jewish holiday of Purim. So
Wow.
the Jewish people and the Irish people can unite. It's very exciting.
That's wonderful. What an exciting thing. We need more unity. That's for
Exactly.
sure. I
100%.
love that. Yeah. Nice. I am in awe of getting some time with you. So many reasons. So many reasons. So give me a minute to brag on you a little bit
Okay.
because I don't think everybody knows what a franchise coach is, for one. I don't think a majority does to understand it. So I can't wait for you to expound on that. But there's something that you are dubbed that I think is amazing because of your heart for helping.
Mm,
Um, and it's called a ferocious networker. And you will connect anybody with anybody. And I just think that that is so fantastic and a special gift. But it definitely ties back into what you do. And there's something else that I also heard is that you have already to date raised over 2 million in charity. So that's the
yeah.
first thing I want
Thank
you to
you.
talk about. Yes, that's so wonderful.
So that started about 10 years ago. A father and son who would just volunteer their time and do live auctions. I saw them get up on stage and I said, I'd love to do that. And they said, if you can do this, this will be the best thing you've ever done in your life. And I did it, and I was it was horrible. And I should have packed up my bags and never done it again. But I persevered, and yeah, organizations around the Philadelphia area and along the East Coast will engage me to get up on stage and do their live auctions or do their give, right, where you just raise
Yeah.
your hand and give money, and it's been a blast.
Wow. Wow. And so you apparently got past the fear.
I got past the fear. It was the first. We won't even get into the first time I ever did it, but
Yeah.
let's say I was in a black suit. It's 95 degrees out. It was a woman only event in a very, very well to do area, and the auction items were horrible. And they basically were just giving me money to get me off the stage and move forward. So with their event, yeah, it was terrible.
Well, that's one way to get money.
Right. Be so bad that people want to get you off a stage. So it worked.
That's okay. That is okay. It's all about the charity, right?
It is. But the nice thing about being an auctioneer is I can raise more money for the charities than they can on their own, because a lot of times what nonprofits do is they'll ask a board member or somebody in the organization to do the auction. And the challenge there is that individual knows the people in the audience. So when they start to make the ask, that person in the audience is like, I just gave you $10,000, right, for the ad
Yeah.
book or whatever it is, but I
Yeah.
don't know that person. So
Oh,
I can look at that person and say, man, you're dressed so nice. You could easily give $10,000. I don't know that he just gave 10. So now we got him for 20. It's a lot of fun.
wow. Wow.
You
I don't
could
know if I
push
should
the
come to your
envelope.
auction or not.
What's that?
I don't know if I should come to your auction or not.
Yeah, I'm very
That's
persuasive.
fantastic. That is fantastic. I just love that. I love that about you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. You told me also another interesting fact was that you have been in the same area for more than 30
40,
years.
43 years. Don't
Wow.
tell anybody. I always wanted to live someplace else.
Yeah.
So the short version is my family's from New York. We came to outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs when I was about 3. And then in my 30s, 36, a friend introduced me to this woman. She said, I think you should get together. She has 2 daughters. What do you think? I said, no problem. It's not like we're going to get married. And we got married. So it was buy one, get two free.
Oh,
She had to stay in
oh,
the suburbs of Philadelphia in the township that I'm in, and I am here and can't get out. So my kids are all going to the same schools that I went to, which is really a riot.
I love that. That is wonderful. You
Yeah.
have too many good stories. I love that. And I mean, that's exactly why I wanted to get a chance to talk to you because you just so special. I we've had time to talk before about what you do. And I think it is truly fascinating that it's not just about franchising, it's also about getting to know that person, the fit, and all that. So I want you to just take your time and really dive into that. How did you get into it? And what is it?
Yeah.
I think I just think like, do you mean McDonald's?
Right. Yeah. That's what everybody thinks of, which is normal. We're all conditioned to think of McDonald's and Subway, but it's
Yeah.
so much more than that. So, how I got into it's a long story, so we won't bore whoever's listening right now with that story. But I've been a franchise coach for 10 years. And really, what I've learned is it's all about helping people where they are at that moment in time. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go into a franchise. So, with the nonprofit work that I do in terms of an auctioneer and helping out nonprofits here and there, and then with being a franchise coach, some people would say, well, what's the connection, right? If you're doing this nonprofit, volunteer work and helping nonprofits on the side, and then doing the auctioneering, the common thread is you're helping people, right? So people come to me. Most of my clients, or not all of them, but many of them are in transition. And being in transition is a roller coaster, right? I've been in transition 2 times myself, very emotional. And so when you meet with them, they're at a critical time. And a lot of
Mhm.
people think that, oh, I'm going to speak to somebody and they're going to want to sell me into a franchise. Well, yes, if you speak to the franchisor, they're going to want to sell you into a franchise. So, but the way I work is very similar to a career and transition coach. But my specialty, my whole focus is just on franchising. Career and transition work is quite different, and there's many experts out there who can help those in transition. But when people are open to their opportunities, when they know that they want to exit out of corporate, when they're daydreaming about exiting out of corporate, sometimes when they don't even know what to do next, right? Somebody has to plant the seed. So as a franchise coach, we sit down together. I really take the time to understand where they are now, where they want to be, what they like, what they don't like, what they prefer. The way I say it is if you could write your perfect movie script for this next uh, chapter of your life, what would that look like? And then I digest everything. I'm giving you the big, quick overview. I digest everything, look at concepts, franchises that are in alignment with everything that they shared with me,
Mhm.
make sure that they're available in their area. And then my clients and I discuss which ones we should explore because it's not about investing, right? Especially at this moment in time. It's about learning about the concepts. It's like a big exercise in learning about different business models to see if it's the right concept for them and their families.
Wow. So that
I know
sounds
that's a
like
lot. That's a
it
lot. Sorry.
is. No, it's great because I think that's what everyone needs to know is that it is not it's not just, oh, here's a franchise, this or that. You really walk them from really caring about the person to helping them with the true fit, whether that actually is to go into it or to continue. Maybe they need to build cash,
Absolutely.
or they do need maybe just they need to be connected to someone while they're in transition, and you're able to help them really flesh that out so they're really seeing options. I mean, I just think that's fantastic because so many people may not know that this is a potential viable option depending on all of their circumstances, but by saying you also have them speak with their family and bring it all together just shows that you really want to make sure that the is it the franchisor and the franchisee are really a fit, as well
Correct.
as that person really knows the next step and feels confident.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a big decision in anybody's life, right? There's an
Mhm.
investment there, and you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And more often, I have lots and lots of conversations with clients that, quite honestly, don't lead to them investing in franchises, right? Most people are not destined to be business owners. So you're really trying to help them figure that piece out. About 10% of my clients know that they're done with corporate and they want to move on. But that other 90% are really trying to figure it out. And it's a very overwhelming space in franchising, right? There's, according to the um, International Federation Association, there's 3,800 different concepts out there. If you Google franchising, you get 400 million results, right? So from time to
Mhm.
time, I'll just type in franchise, hit Google, you get all these results. And then everybody's an award winner, right? Everyone's a number one this and a top five that. And it's like, we're on this, list of best franchises. So it becomes very overwhelming
Mhm.
to anybody that's looking. And so I help them distill that down to look at good franchise concepts. And then the last thing I'll say, because you mentioned McDonald's, there's 6 major categories in franchising: retail, fast food, automotive, and then you have B2B, business to business, B2C, or what I call business to homeowner, and then education or enrichment programs. Most of my clients focus on the latter three, or I help them focus on the latter three, because there's tons of great concepts in B2B, B2C, and education. And typically the investments range anywhere from 350 all the way down to 50,000. So people don't know that because they think of McDonald's and that's $1 million investment,
Right.
but there's
Right.
plenty that are less. So
Right. And do you also help them figure out what if they need to figure out funds, or they want to like borrow against their assets or different things? Do you help them through
yeah,
that path as well?
yeah, I have a very methodical process. I provide them with a lot of resources, and one of them is a resource sheet on financing. And then I have them look at their financing the same way they're looking at franchising, right? Exploration. So there's people in the franchise world that focus on franchising concepts in the financial space, and they're exploring, hey, do I like this company? Do I like the fit, right? They're building their advisory board. Same thing with a franchise attorney. Most people don't need to know they need a franchise attorney to look at their franchise agreement before they sign.
Wow.
Yeah,
So a lot of protections there.
certain nuances. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It sounds to me like that at the end of this journey, or really at their beginning, that the end of the exploration, a decision, the beginning of a new journey, is that they're going to go into that like almost 100% confident, because you've taken that time, walked them through, and handheld them. It's so unique.
It really is. It's a really unique space. I mean, I started this 10 years ago. I love it. I'm like a fish in water with it. And, when it comes to taking them through the process, my clients are really doing the heavy lift, right? Because once I align them with a franchise concept, they're speaking to the franchisor. They're reading the documentation, which one of them is the FDD, the franchise disclosure document. And the beauty of all of this is they get to speak to all the franchisees that came before them. And
Mhm.
those are the people that were in their shoes, right? So franchisees who are already in the system are very willing to speak because they've gone through the exploration process as well.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
So really not hit nothing hidden really in that, such a transparent kind of transaction.
very, very, yeah.
And so do they pay you? How does that work?
Mm,
How if I
good
wanted
question.
to contact you and start this, how does that work?
So the business model is I work very similarly to a executive search firm. Whereas
Mm,
if you're a professional and
mhm.
you've used a search firm in the past, you don't pay the search firm anything. They're compensated by the company once you land. That's the industry standard. So if a client decides to invest in a concept, that's when I'm compensated. So clients like that because they don't have to uh, pay an hourly rate for the many hours that we're putting in together, to decide if they want to do it or if they don't want to do it. So I tell clients we could work together for 3 months. We could work together for 3 years. I'm on your time frame.
Wow. Wow. It really sounds like you have to be very dedicated as a coach for this, patient, and it's a long journey. This is not transactional. It's a long journey as far as really being side by side with that person or family that decides to go this route.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times people are laying on the couch when they're talking to you. Well, right? You're a helper, you're a
Yeah.
giver.
Yeah.
People want to open up to you. And so people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And that is something that is really important in the work that we both do. Is just listening, hearing them, and uh, being an advocate for people in that time of need, whatever that time of need looks like.
Man, well said. Well said. You are such a treasure. I just want you to know that. Such an honor to have you. I'm going to give some shout outs because we've got a nice group here. Hi,
Yeah, I
Yolanda,
see that.
Wendy, Tina, Zelda, Ajit. And Tina, loved what you said about if you could write the script of your ideal rest of your life. That is a fantastic quote there. So we're always good about honoring time and not taking up too much of anyone's, we'll say. But tell me, what do I need? Do we send a certain person to you, or do you like to connect to everybody? This is a silly question.
I pretty much like to connect to just about anybody. I mean, I'm trying to be a little more judicious on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
but I'm the only Harris Gubin out there. So thank you to my parents for giving me a name that nobody else has.
right.
Um, and website wise, it's franchisecoachonline.com.
Put that in.
Okay.
Yep.
And again, LinkedIn's a great place to connect, obviously. Harris Gubin. And happy to always have a conversation and see how I can assist.
So helpful. I'm going to put this in here, but I'm delayed. Tell me that website again, please.
Sure. It's franchisecoachonline.com. I think if I had purchased it 20 years ago, I probably could have gotten just franchise coach, but
Gotcha. Gotcha. I just like to share that so people
thank
can
you.
connect with you and check out your site. Happy St. Patrick's
That's
Day.
right.
I appreciate your time, but
Great to be
above
here.
that, I appreciate all the things that you do to help people just, keep going and, you know, just just appreciate the friendship and the time that you take to help others. Also got to give you a quick shout out. Not only do you do a fantastic job on the franchise coaching, but as far as that, helping people connect when they are in transition, I would encourage anybody that knows that you can reach out to Harrison. He will plug you in with good
Absolutely.
coaches and good networks and the things that we like to do to help others. So, be sure to do that. So, you have a wonderful rest of your day
Thanks,
on
Nina.
our combined Irish Jewish holiday.
That's right.
And
You too.
and I'll talk to you soon. Just hold a minute and we'll end the show and
All
I'll
right.
talk to you in a minute. Okay.
Okay.